Join me, Bex from the Wide Boot Company, and Sophie as we go glamping at Langford Farm. Hi everyone, welcome to the glamping vlog. I've been trying to get this video sorted for the last couple of weeks since we got back from glamping, but I've had a lot of issues going on. As you will hear, I have lost my voice, which I think is part of the nerve compression going on. So that's been a bit difficult to deal with. Poor Elf has only been ridden twice by me in the last 2 weeks as well since we got back. The nerve damage in my hand is making it very numb and difficult for me to move things, and I can't put the saddle on because he's too tall for me to lift it over my head at the moment. So it's not been very easy, but we have done some work on the working equitation rope gate, so that's in hand work, and I've done a bit of footage of that, so that will be coming up soon. And also he's been doing some lunging, so yeah, he's not been completely on holiday. And then the second thing that has happened is that Estrella, my 2-year-old, I'd propped my phone up on the field rail on the floor, but against the kind of fence post on my side of the fence. And I was trying to take some video footage, and she was very nosy, put her nose underneath the fence and dragged the phone in under the floor, under the fence rail, and stamped on it, trying to take a selfie of herself, I think. So she completely crushed my phone, which sadly meant I lost quite a lot of the footage from the glamping trip because iCloud only backed up some of it. So yeah, I lost our hacking stuff, and I lost the video of me riding Elf on the Friday night when we arrived. Some of the videos, luckily, I sent to Sophie to show her family because she was too excited to wait for the vlog to be done so she could show them what we've been up to. So luckily, I had sent her quite a few videos of her and Atia riding, and a couple of the others. So we didn't lose everything. And then I found out that my friend Kim was staying at the same place the next weekend. So I messaged her, and she was very kind and did some other videos of the kitchen and the showers and everything, because that was the other thing I really wanted to show you. So anyway, so she did that. Thank you so much, Kim. So apologies for the gravelly voiceovers, but I'm going to crack on with the vlog. We just need to get it finished now. So I hope you enjoy having a look around the farm and the glamping facilities, and let's go.
It's a lovely sunny day. After all those months of rain, isn't it nice to finally get some dry weather? So as you can see, the grass is shooting up, so I'm being a bit careful about what the horses are getting. So Sophie and I are going glamping with the horses. So later on today, we are packing up the lorry, and we are taking Elfie, who's there, and Atia, who is my bay mare there. That's her foal, that's now 2 next to her, the black one, Estrella. But anyway, so yes, Atia, we are going camping. Sophie is going to be riding Atia because I can't ride her anymore because I'm too heavy for her, and I'm taking Elf. So we are going to this lovely place on the side of the New Forest. It's a glamping bell tent, and they've got a paddock for the horses and lots of lovely facilities. In fact, it's the same place that I took Elf to his first ever dressage competition I did with him. So I know the surfaces are really nice. I think we've got a pole, or like a, maybe mixed pole and jumping lesson tomorrow. And we should be going out hacking, and we're just gonna chill out. So we've had it booked for a while. And yeah, Sophie and I just decided it'd be really nice to just go away for 2 nights and do that with the horses. So yeah, quite excited about it all. So just getting ready to pack the lorry up, and I just thought I'd quickly show you. I'm in my Equine Splendor riding tights today, and I forgot I actually bought this last year just as it started to get too cold to wear it. But yeah, I thought that would be perfect for driving in the lorry. It's got this nice mesh on the side, so nice and cool and great for moving around, loading things and not getting too hot. So yeah, we're getting excited now. Can't wait to get loaded and get over to the glamping site.
So unfortunately, the videos of the horses arriving and going in the paddock also got lost. But anyway, here's a photo of them in the paddock before we got ready to go for our little arena hire.
Just to show you before we ruin it all with our clothes and stuff everywhere. But this is our bell tent. So it's really nice and tall. It's got one big bed. We're going to have to toss a coin as to who gets that, or whether me as the broken geriatric gets first dibs. And then there's another bed there. So yeah, it's really nice, all nice and clean and modern. So yeah, Sophie's just getting her riding stuff on, and then we can go get the horses ready.
Yeah, so I got the big bed. I should also say as well, there are proper lights and power points for you to plug everything into, which is great. We just tacked up in the field, but they did offer us places to tie up further up towards the stables if we wanted to.
So we just have got on the horses. There's a nice big mountain block in the corner, which is good. Sophie's going for full egghead for the whole weekend, apparently. So yeah, there we go. And we're just giving them a little walk around the arena. Elf hasn't been here since at least a year ago, when I came to my friend Nadine's jumping clinic, which he found a bit exciting towards the end. But anyway, so yeah, we're just going to give them a little walk around together, and then we can just have a little light schooling session in here. Oh, what's that? What's that? It's fine, Atia, just traffic cones and a banner. She's like, I'm just not sure. Not sure. Okay, so yeah, we shall continue our walk around, and the horses have come to say hello around the arena as well. So it is a working stud here, so there are, oh Elfie, steady, there are a few horses around. Right, I'm going to put the phone away because Elfie's back is right up now, so I better concentrate.
So as I'd expected, Atia was a big fan of this lovely surface. It was really good with her arthritis to be on such a nice surface and not have to wear her hoof boots as well.
Nice.
So after we'd done a bit of dressage down this end, we moved up to the other end, and there were some poles out, which Atia thought was great fun.
Steady. Good boy, Alfie. She's coming back.
So Atia's only been cleared to do walk and trot in the arena now because of her arthritis. She clearly had other ideas and is feeling very well on her hempine supplement.
So if anyone wants to see how hempine can improve their horse, there you go, that is the proof. You know, this is a horse that was pretty much written off last year. Now she wants to canter everywhere when she's not meant to be cantering. Hey kids, what do you all think about going on your first camping holiday together? Is it fun? Yes. Atia, you look tiny compared to Elf there. He's like, I'm staring at things in the distance that are very interesting. I'm doing my model pose. Look at me. I'm Zoolander. Pose, 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 pose. Mwah. Good boy? Yeah.
So after we'd ridden, we popped up to the clubhouse to put all of our food and stuff away. Just to say, because these videos are by my friend Kim, that she was on a camp, so they provided some of the food. We did take our own breakfast stuff with us, but anyway, it shows you the kitchen. So there's a fridge, there is a work surface and a selection of bits and pieces to wash up with, and you've also got the kettle, and another fridge, and up above there was a microwave, which was very handy for my beanbag for my neck that I had to keep microwaving. And the showers are here, a really nice selection of clean towels and lovely cosmetics like little shampoos and conditioners that you can use. It was all very clean and nicely laid out, and the shower had good pressure and good hot water. So yeah. So in the evening we drove to the pub down the road and picked up the two ladies that were in the tent next to us because we saw them walking. So we had a dinner all together, which was really lovely. And then this is our tent all lit up. Unfortunately, I had a very bad night's sleep because my neck became really, really bad overnight. So that wasn't the best. And I spent a lot of time walking up and down to the microwave to microwave my beanbag thing. But yeah, as you can see, there's also like a little fire area as well, so you can sit there and have a fire pit. Saturday morning, we decided we'd go for a short hack. We couldn't do too much because of Attia's arthritis, but we decided to go for like a little, walk up the road. I shouldn't really have ridden because my neck was so bad I couldn't look round over my shoulder, but anyway, off we went. So we had a little map that they'd drawn for us, and when we had to get to the cattle grid bit, we were a bit confused and we stopped. And unfortunately, then a lorry was coming over the cattle grid one way, a tractor was coming the other way. This lovely lady said, "Oh, come into my driveway and let all the traffic go past." And then she helped us find out where we were going. So that was the first bit. We had a few silly drivers, nothing too bad. And then at the end of the ride, it all went a little bit wrong. And this rubbish screenshot is the only hacking footage that I have that survived the phone crushing. It was very busy and quite eventful, and the last bit of the video that I had that I lost was me saying, "Let's hope the rest of the hack goes to plan." Quick interlude. Our end of our hack did not go to plan. We turned off towards the farm to get back, and we had there was a horse in the fields that was next to us. So because of the amount of traffic that was going past, generally, it wasn't horrendous, but my horses are just not used to that volume of traffic, and it was quite consistent. And I could feel Elf was getting, more and more like he's just about holding it together as we're going along. And obviously I'm struggling because I can't look over my shoulder very easily because of my neck and shoulder and back being so bad. So anyway, we were going along, and as we went along, it wasn't very wide, the lane. It was a 2-car lane, but not very wide. A horse on the left hand side in one of the fields came trotting up in a really excited trot with its tail swishing, and Elf saw it, and it kind of like put his back right up, and he was like, "Oh," and I thought, "Oh, he's gonna go." And then this caravan, which was being towed by somebody who was a complete idiot, they were rattling away behind us. They were right up behind Attia, who was behind me, and he was just like trying to push to get past. So with the horse coming up to the side and the caravan rattling away behind us, Elf lost the plot for a few seconds, cantered on the road, not for very long, but chucked his head up, and it was obvious that he was scared and a little bit panicky. I managed to get him back to a trot, and I just shouted back to Sophie. I was like, "Let's just trot." I don't like to trot Attia on the road because of her joints, but anyway, we didn't really have a choice. So I was like, "Let's just trot and try and get up to this driveway on the left that I could see ahead, so we could pull in, and then this idiot and the caravan could go past." But as we were coming up to the driveway, typically the person whose driveway it was came out in their car, which then blocked us being able to go in there. And at the same time as this car was trying to turn left out of the driveway in front of us, and another car was coming towards us, this idiot in the caravan just decided to squash past, and that was it. So luckily the horses didn't do anything silly when he rushed past with his caravan, but I was just like, why do people have to be like that? We were literally a few seconds away from turning off onto the lane that we needed to go down to get back to the farm anyway, so there was no need for him to have to be like that. So anyway, yeah, so I don't think our hacking route was the best choice because of the bank holiday weekend. I think the traffic was busier. So if you go, I would definitely recommend going left out of the farm through the ford. The girls that were camping next to us said they had a really nice ride going that way. So I think that was just a bit of a bad choice on our part of where we were going. But yeah, anyway, so that was my little thing about the end of our hack, which wasn't really quite as relaxing as we hoped it would be. So sadly, these are the only other photos that I have because of what happened to my crushed phone. But anyway, as you can see, the horses were really happy, and they just really enjoyed their time at the farm and were quite relaxed and happy in their little paddock. So after Sophie had her lesson at 3:00, she really kindly drove me to A&E, which is what 111 had advised for my issues with my neck. So that's where the next part of the story comes. So, the vlog ending. It ended quicker than I was expecting. So, this glamping trip obviously was lovely, but it was cut a little bit short by my ridiculous back. So, firstly, I'm going to say a massive thank you to Langford Farm. They were brilliant, very welcoming. The ladies there are such good fun and nothing is too much trouble. And even when Elf smashed all the electric fencing trying to get to Atia when she went to the arena, nobody was funny about it, or, they just went, yeah, no problem, we'll get on and just fix it for you and don't worry about it at all, it's no big deal. So that was lovely. It was just like, thank goodness, because obviously trying to hold a 16-hand horse that is being a bit of an idiot when you've got a really, really sore shoulder is not ideal. So thankfully he did calm down after he realised Atia was just going round and round in the arena next to him and not leaving him. So yeah, they came and sorted it all out after that happened, and I could put him back in the paddock and it was all fine. So the glamping bell tents are lovely. We were very comfortable. Thank goodness they had a comfortable bed, because with my back issues, I definitely can't sleep on any hard little camping beds and things now. The clubhouse bit with the showers and the kitchen is also very nicely laid out and clean. So yeah, I really would recommend it. If you want to go away with your horse for a holiday, definitely check it out. And the hacking wasn't really quite ideal for us just because of Atia's level of arthritis. She can't do harder road hacking for too long. So if you're expecting to just be able to ride straight onto the forest, you can't. You do have to do a little bit of road work. But other than that, I think the place is absolutely amazing. And if we go back again, which I would like to, I think we would just have a lesson and use the arena hire. They've got such an amazing range of show jumps and things as well. So if you're into that, you'll be in heaven. You can, go around the show jumping course there and have a great time. I'm a bit gutted that I didn't get to do that. So yeah, the second thing I was going to mention on the vlog. So, oh God, I need to move my back. It's very stiff. So yeah, the second thing I wanted to talk about was I've always had a part-time job that I subsidise my income with, because running the wide boot company, it's a very niche business. So and what with the cost of living crisis and everything, I've never quite got to a point that I've been able to rely on the wide boot company totally as my income. So I've been running I've been working somewhere for 11 years part-time as an accounts person, they didn't even, the boss didn't even tell me himself, which I think is really quite poor after 11 years of working for him. But I went into my job the day before we left for the glamping trip, and they said basically they didn't think there would be a job for me as of next week because the company was in difficulty and a lot of things were changing. So I just found out from one of the other guys that works there that basically I wouldn't have a job anymore. So it was a bit of a shock, and I could have really done with a little bit more notice than 0 days notice of that happening. But anyway, so I'm trying to look at it in a positive way, and I'm going to be using the spare time to try and get my health back on track with my back issues especially, and also I'm going to be doing some more sort of design work and social media work and video things. So, you know, I'm going to use it to my advantage and try and use this extra time I've suddenly got to put it in a positive way towards the business. So yeah, anyway, so that's the second thing I wanted to say. But it sort of relates to the third thing. So I spent a lot of money with my osteopath in the couple of weeks before the glamping trip because my back had been really, really terrible and it kept going out. So I was going to him to try and, on emergency last minute appointments, to every time something went out, I'd see him and he'd put it back in, and then a few days later it would clunk out somewhere else. So it's quite common for me. My back is really unstable, basically. It moves a lot and I get a lot of bulging disc issues. So the week before we went glamping, I had a bulging disc in my lower back and it was really bad. I ended up having, 111 referred me to A&E because my foot had gone numb, and I waited in A&E and eventually saw a lovely doctor, and she did actually give me some pretty decent painkillers. So I used those, and then a few days after this A&E trip for my lower back, something went really weird in my shoulder. And it felt very tight and uncomfortable, but I just kind of carried on with work. I did see the osteopath again to try and see if he could ease it off a bit, but it didn't really work. And then we went glamping. So I took the leftover painkillers I had from my A&E trip because I thought, you know, doing a bit more with the horses over the weekend, it might flare something up. So I took them with me, and obviously I ended up having really, really bad issues while we were glamping, and in the end I rang 111 and on Saturday lunchtime and said, look, you know, I really need some more painkillers or some help. The painkillers that I have aren't helping, and they were like, we can't prescribe anything over the phone, you'll have to go to A&E. So I was like, okay, great. So anyway, I said to Sophie, I'm in too much pain, I can't do the lesson, you do the lesson. So she did her lesson at 3:00, and then after that we fed the horses, and then she took me to A&E in Southampton, which luckily is only 15 minutes away from the farm, so that wasn't too bad. And to cut a long story short, I ended up waiting for 9 hours to see a doctor. They gave me some Oromorph just before I saw the doctor, and then when I actually saw her, she was really unpleasant actually. She basically, I explained to her that I'd lost my job and that I'd spent, you know, a lot of money on the osteopath, but that wasn't going to be possible for me to do ongoing because I've now lost my income that would have helped me pay for those kind of things. And I said, you know, I've obviously saved a few of the painkillers from my visit to A&E last weekend in Bournemouth, but I didn't really have enough. I hadn't taken a correct dose because I didn't have enough left, and that also it didn't really seem to be working for this new trapped nerve in my shoulder. So I was expecting her to sort of help me with some different pain relief, and all she did was turn around to me and she said, I can't solve your life problems and I can't solve your chronic pain in one evening trip here. And I was like, whoa, you know, I'm not asking you to, I'm just asking if you could give me some different pain relief that might actually help with this nerve. So basically I think I have a bulging disc in my neck, which is impinging on a nerve, and it's going all the way down my shoulder and arm, so that's why, you know, it's very painful. So yeah, that's all I wanted, just some different painkillers to try and help to be able to get through the weekend, especially because it was a bank holiday weekend. And all she did was give me a paper leaflet with some neck stretches, and then she just kept saying, go and see your GP. So I was like, but it's a bank holiday weekend, my GP surgery won't be open, nobody's gonna be able to prescribe me anything. But yeah, she just literally was like, I'm not giving you anything, and she stomped out of the cubicle, and she literally rolled her eyes at me and stomped out. And I was really polite for this whole thing as well. I'm not a shouty, angry person, but you know, I tried to stand up for myself and just so that I could try and get sorted, but she's having none of it. So that was it. She stomped off out, left me in the cubicle to find my own way out. So I was a bit like, okay, I was quite shocked. Yeah, you know, I was actually really shocked at how she was. And then, yeah, so I rang Sophie at 2:30 in the morning and woke her up because she'd left her phone on a loud volume, so it would wake her up when I was ready to be collected. So poor Sophie, she got dragged out of bed at 2:30 in the morning and came and collected me and took me back. So, yeah, it really was not great. I know the NHS are under a lot of pressure at the moment, but I think she could have given me some pain relief, at least, you know, after a 9-hour wait sitting there. So anyway, yeah, Soph helped me pack the lorry up and we got the horses home, and then I rang 111 again when I got home because I tried ringing my doctor's surgery and obviously they were shut. And so 111 basically said, oh, because you've got tingling and numbness in your arm, we can send an ambulance. And I was like, what's the point? You're just going to send me back to hospital. I'm going to end up sitting there for hours and hours in an uncomfortable seat again, which just makes it even worse. And you're not going to give me an MRI and you're not going to give me any drugs that are going to work. So what is the point of me even doing that and wasting an ambulance that could be for an emergency for someone else? So she said, oh, okay, you're within your rights to turn down the ambulance. So is that what you want to do? And I was like, yeah, I do. I just want somebody to try and prescribe me some better pain relief. So she said, okay, that's fine. We'll get one of the doctors to call you back. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So this was 12:30 on Sunday afternoon. And luckily a friend of mine saw my post on Facebook about having been stuck in A&E for so long, and she said, oh, I've actually got some drugs left over from when I broke my ankle, and it was the same thing they'd actually given me in the hospital the night before I saw the doctor, so I knew I wasn't allergic to it or anything. So she luckily offered me that, because if I hadn't have gone and collected that with my husband and taken it, I would have been in absolute agony for the whole weekend, because they didn't actually phone me back until 5:45 a.m. on Bank Holiday Monday, and they sent a paramedic round an hour later. He did give me some different drugs, but they still weren't really what I needed, which was like a really strong muscle relaxant, and it's another drug the GP has now prescribed me, now that I've spoken to him, that actually helps with the numbness and the pins and needles in my arm. So, you know, all in all, it was pretty bloody shoddy. I was very shocked to be left with no pain relief for so long, and yeah, not great. So if you've got any experiences of back pain and disc issues and going through the NHS, I'd really love to hear from you as to how you've done it or how it's progressed through, because it's very difficult to get seen by the appropriate people. And yeah, it's obviously a real problem. So yeah, if you've done that yourself, please get in contact. I'd love to hear from you. And sorry the vlog was a little bit of a weird one, but I hope you enjoyed having a look around Langford Farm. And yeah, don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to be notified of further videos. Hopefully I'll be back riding soon, so yeah, hopefully we'll work it out. See you next time. And I'm really glad to be able to tell you that I've got a really, really lovely job offered to me straight after we got back from glamping. So I'm so chuffed. I'm really happy for my new job, and I'll tell you all about that another time. Thanks so much for watching.